Hey there, Mustangs. Miss Jones here, and I want to continue reading Liberty Porter, First Daughter. And here we are at chapter 16. Liberty and her parents were going to greet the official guest. They were very important people from a small, faraway country. James was coming with them. His mother's job as chief of protocol was to help visitors from other countries. It will be Liberty's first official guest greeting. Because at the White House, the president and the first family, they have visitors from all over the world coming. And so Liberty's going to get to meet some really cool people from a lot of different places all around the world. They're from a country that has been having a difficult relationship with the United States, James said. I heard my mom talking about it. Okay, this was a lot of pressure. Liberty smoothed her favorite party dress, which had a secret pocket, the just right size for her new cell phone. Nobody had told her she had to change her outfit, but she had run upstairs and put on a dress. She was going to be on best official behavior. She took out a sparkly silver fancy purse. She also stuck in a porter butter cookie just in case they served pheasant snacks or something. They went into the blue room. James was there with his mother. Hello, Liberty, James's mother smiled at her. Thank you for sharing your day with James. Oh, I still have his backpack, Liberty said. I kind of borrowed his extra outfit, but Chief Usher Lee said he would get it all clean and unwrinkly again for you. Oh, James' mother looked confused. So my dad said James was a ginormous help today, Liberty quickly added. He's an awesome tour guide. My father said he would want to hire James when he gets older. Then we both could work for the White House, James said to his mother. His mother beamed. James, I'm so delighted. You're such a good boy. James stayed with his mother as she gushed over him while Liberty followed her parents over to the guests. Liberty's parents introduced her to a woman, a man, and a teenager boy. Hey, the grown-ups were the people who had gotten lost earlier. Liberty started to remind them, but realized she'd met them when she was wearing her disguise and had sneaked away from Sam, so maybe it was better not to say anything. We hope you enjoyed your visit to the White House, Liberty's mother said. Thank you, the official visitor woman said. The visitors weren't smiling. They all sort of stood there. Awkward. Just then, Liberty noticed one of the boys' shirt pockets was moving, and then a little tiny animal stuck its head out. It looked like a tiny white mouse. Sort of. It had big eyes, big ears, and a stripe on its head. Suddenly, official visitor woman looked at her son and gasped. Oh no, she scolded. President Porter, I apologize for my son. He brought one of his pets without permission. The boy looked guilty and tried to push the little animal back in his pocket. Excuse me, what is that? Liberty asked. I never saw one of those before. It's a sugar glider, the boy said. It's called a sugar glider because it loves sweet foods. It's a small marsupial. The female has a pouch like a kangaroo. Is it friendly? Liberty asked. May I pet it? A sugar glider, whoa. So the teenage boy brought his pet to the White House. Yes, ours is friendly, the boy said. We raise many sugar gliders. I appreciate your daughter being kind about this situation, the official visitor man said to Liberty's father. I did not intend to bring this animal into your White House. Our Liberty loves all animals, Liberty's father said. Liberty reached out to pet the sugar glider. It was cute-tastic. Presidents in the White House have had lots of unusual pets, Liberty told them. There were bear cubs and tiger cubs. Bears and tigers, her father asked. I did not know this. Yep, and there was a raccoon named Rebecca and a badger named Josiah and lion cubs, alligators, and a pygmy hippopotamus. Fascinating. We love animals too, official visitor woman said to Liberty. Everyone smiled. Suddenly the sugar glider took flight. It had wings. It jumped out of the boy's pocket and flew onto the curtains. Oh no, everyone yelled. I'll catch it, the son said. He ran over to the curtain, but the sugar glider jumped over his head and onto an old table and ran into the next room. And that's when Liberty heard a bark. Oh no, Franklin must have smelled the sugar glider. Everyone rushed through the door and into the diplomat's room. Franklin was barking and chasing the jumping sugar glider. There went the dog chasing. Everyone was grabbing at the sugar glider, or the dog. Oh no, James's mother gasped. This is an international disaster. And suddenly James grabbed Franklin's collar. I got the dog, he yelled. Sit, Franklin. And Franklin sat. But do you remember? James doesn't like dogs, right? I think he's allergic to them. Now for the sugar glider. Wait, sugar. That gave Liberty an idea. She remembered the cookie. She unsnapped her purse and held it open. The sugar glider hung from the curtain. It looked around and sniffed. Then it flew over Liberty's shoulder. Oops, Liberty said. Then the sugar glider dove into her purse for the cookie. Got it, Liberty said, and closed the purse. Bravo, the official visitor man shouted. Everyone cheered. The son took the sugar glider out of the purse and put it back in his pocket. How did you do that? Official visitor woman asked Liberty. It was the cookie, Liberty said. She held up the rest of it. Isn't that a porter butter cookie? Official visitor man asked. You look oddly familiar. Do you have a brother? Liberty said. Liberty was in disguise as a boy today so she could help people, James said. She wanted everyone to feel welcome in the White House. It was the only way. So you are the kind young person who gave us a porter butter cookie and helped us when we were lost? Official visitor man said. Liberty nodded. You should be proud of your first daughter, official visitor woman turned to Liberty's parents. She gave us a wonderful welcome to America's White House. Liberty grinned. Her parents grinned. Everyone grinned. Franklin made his happy dog bark. Arrrr! Suddenly, the sugar glider poked out of the boy's pocket again, and it flew onto the desk. Oh, no, not again. But this time it jumped onto Franklin's back, and it stuck to Franklin's collar, and Franklin turned around and gave the sugar glider a lick. They're friends, Liberty said. Dogs and sugar gliders can be friends, the son agreed. The son picked up the sugar glider and held it up to Franklin. Franklin sniffed. The sugar glider made a noise like chirp. Everyone laughed. What a wonderful day for all of us, official visitor woman said. And we would like to present an official gift from our country to yours. Liberty, please accept the sugar glider. Her son nodded and held out the sugar glider to her. What? Liberty said. We wish you to have it as a pet. In fact, they should live with a friend, so we will give you 2, said the official visitor man. Liberty looked at her parents. We can give you a cage and special food, the son said. Well, we'll have to follow the rules for foreign gifts, the president said. James's mother came over and whispered something to him. Liberty crossed her fingers as much as she could and still hold the sugar glider. She closed her eyes and made a wish. Please, could she keep the sugar glider? And then suddenly the sugar glider flew out of Liberty's crossed fingers and onto the person walking in, Miss Crumb. Oh no, Liberty was doomed. Ack! Miss Crumb squealed. What is this on me? It's a sugar glider, the official woman said. It was a gift from our country to your wonderful first daughter, and thank you for her generous welcome to the White House. Another pet! Miss Crumb looked at the sugar glider. She looked at Liberty. It could be worse, Liberty's father said. It could have been an alligator or a pygmy hippopotamus. We can be the first family with a pet sugar glider. He winked at Liberty. That's pretty historical, Liberty agreed. Well, Miss Crumb said weakly, pets do teach responsibility to children, and the press does love to report on White House pets. Liberty, would you please remove your pet? Liberty grinned and ran over. Welcome to the White House, sugar glider, Liberty said, picking it up. Liberty thought its sweet little face was smiling. Suddenly a woman entered the room, and she was followed by some kids. It was Miss Yee. Oh, sorry, she said. We thought this was on the tour. Hey, there's Liberty Porter, someone called. It was Cheese Fries. Hi, Liberty waved back. Liberty Porter rocks, Cheese Fries yelled. Liberty Porter rocks! The whole group started clapping and cheering. The president and first lady were smiling at her. The official visitors, James and Sam, were smiling at her. Miss Crumb was, well, at least she was not frowning at her. Maybe Liberty wasn't going to be a perfect first daughter, but she had a feeling she was going to be a pretty good one. All right, Mustangs, that is the end to Chapter 16. Until next time, take care.